a nanosecond because you know that the Red Wings are going to be all over you. But, sometimes the shots, there's not a lot to shoot at. I mean, you look at the goaltenders, and they look big, and they are, but there's not a lot of room for those shots sometimes get through. But I have to agree that sometimes Minnesota's a little bit wary of getting those shots to the net. They're a little bit wide of the target so often, and that is not a good place. You want to get them on the target. That's one thing Brett Hull told me years ago, and of course I remember being with Brett in Chicago when he was like a 4-year-old coming on the ice. We used to practice together in some of the before the morning skates and so on, but he would take like the 15 pucks and he would shoot every one of them. He said you have to hit the net with those shots every time. I don't care. Going wide is not going to do anything for you. You've got to hit the net, and I think that bodes true for the game today.
All right, here's an interesting one. We both like the history of the game, but here's some revisionist history, if you will. It says from the 763 area code, ask TR if he thinks the North Stars would have left town if we drafted Yzerman instead of Lawton. Because if they got Yzerman, this guy says the North Stars would have got at least one Stanley Cup with him under their watch.
Very possible, but going back to Lawton, I still think Lawton was a good choice. And the reason I say that is because he was a young kid. He was a high school kid, and they put him right in the NHL because they had to sell tickets. And I thought that was the wrong move. You have to develop these young guys coming out of high school, wherever they may be, coming out of juniors and so on. But you have to develop them. And they wanted to sell season tickets because he was number one draft choice. I still think he was a good choice, but he was put into a league in those 80s were very, very difficult. I mean, there's no question. I mean, it's a big, tough guys, and they could run you right out of the league. And they intimidated a lot of the young players come in because they weren't near as strong. Physically, they hadn't stopped growing yet, and they're still growing, and they're a little bit wary of some of the guys. And they had some very tough guys back in those late 70s and early 90s, or early 80s. So, I still don't think it was a bad choice. But Yzerman would have been great at anybody's team. He'd win games for you.
No doubt about that. From the 651 area code, this texter sees a familiar name between the pipes for the Detroit Red Wings. Remembers Cam Talbot very well from his time here in Minnesota. How has life been for Cam Talbot since leaving the Wild organization?
It's been great. I mean, he's still in the National Hockey League, and that just makes it great. I mean, you want a guy that appreciates being where he is, and there's no question that Cam has been around for quite a while right now. You look at it now, his 13th year in the league, just his second with Detroit, but he has really helped this hockey club. He's got a goals against average 2.95 and a save percentage of just under 90%, but he's been great. This is game number 556 of his career, and against Minnesota, he's played him 19 times coming into this game. He's gone 9-8-2 in that stretch.
From the 763 area code, cold weather outside, Hockey Day Minnesota coming up on Saturday. This texter wants to know, Tom, with the cold weather, it's reminding him of the Winter Classic a few years ago out at Target Field.
No kidding.
How bad was that from an outdoors standpoint? The cold was biting. You guys had it pretty good. You were indoors. Mark Parrish, on the other hand, remember that? We put him down by the glass in a snowmobile suit.
Yep.
How do you compare it to what we're going through right now, and did you play outside as a young lad?
Yes, you did, but you never even worried about the cold. It wasn't quite this cold that we see here right now, but it was still cold, and of course we didn't have very good skates, and the feet were frozen, and we were going in the house and crying because my feet hurt so bad. I'm putting them in lukewarm water, trying to get the blood flowing once again with the hot chocolate and everything else, but it was great. You know what? And as a kid, you love that, but it was... Those are really difficult days, especially when you hit the pros and you're playing outdoors in weather like this. It's really, really difficult. And I give a lot of credit. I mean, the people down in Hastings have worked so hard. United Heroes has done a great job of putting that whole structure together to make it fun for everybody. I just hope people dress warm. Get the heaters for your hands, your feet, whatever, but get down there and support these guys. They've done a tremendous job to bring it to where it is now.
I know you talked to Shane a few months ago, on the air at least. I talked to him over the weekend there on Beyond the Pond, and one thing's for sure, they were ready for the cold. They didn't know it was going to be this cold, but they've got a ton of heated spaces down there, and I wouldn't even worry about parking. They've got parking for days. It's going to be a grand setup, and I know you've seen that Shields rink that they've got. It's going to be an outstanding atmosphere.
Oh, there's no question about it. You look at the people who are from Hastings who played in the National Hockey League. You got Derek Stepan, you got Jeff Tafe, and you got John Gruden, you got Taylor Chorner, you got Erica McKenzie, you got Dean Talifas. Erica McKenzie, of course, was Ms. Hockey back in 2004, the University of Minnesota she went to, and Team USA. But it's one of those situations you have a lot of young people who are going to be there tomorrow. And just to say you went down there and just to enjoy it. They'll have things all set up for you. Yeah, I guarantee you, if you dress warm, you'll be fine.
Well, and that ties in nicely to the 763 area code. Tom, we know you're busy late at night on Saturday, but the 763 area code wants to know if you'll be their date down to Hastings. Maybe you could do drop the pucks, do let's play hockey, maybe even call a couple of periods down there. What do you think? As long as it's outdoors.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't blame you.
I'm very busy.
That's very busy. You're preparing for the Wild and Panthers. Thomas, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tom Reid upstairs in the Al Shaver press box with Tom Reid's hotline. You text it at 64686, and someone's going to be rewarded with a pair of tickets to see the Wild and Panthers Saturday night in St. Paul. Pregame at 7:45. Puck drops just after 8 o'clock on most of these same stations. I'll text you. If you don't get that text, you can still get tickets to that or any Minnesota Wild game. Great seats available at wild.com/tickets. As for your Wild, they need a ticket to a couple of goals there in that third period because they're down 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. We'll recap the first two periods next. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.